Well, just because I still have this dirty easel, I'm gonna, or dirty palette, some Prussian blue. Let's make a Prussian blue sky. See this? If this canvas wasn't prepared, you would just be having a devil of a time trying to get this paint to blend. But we can just make life a lot easier on ourselves. Put the liquid white on, and then we can blend and mix this color with nary an effort. Yes, I did say nary an effort. And if we want to make it a little darker, just tap a little bit more paint in there, into your brush, and start at the top again. Put some color up in the top, and then start working it down. Typically, we don't blend at this stage. We're just blocking in the color first. Leaving some of these white areas. That's going to look like distant sky and distant clouds. We don't just want it one dead color. So we put that color in there, and then we clean the old brush. Well, I have painted very large mountains and mountain ranges. That's what I was thinking about doing today, is a nice mountain scene. Now that we've got the dry brush, I start here in the middle, just making simple little crisscross strokes, just X's. And that takes out all those harsh little brush marks. Takes out all the little streakies, leaves everything super soft. The more you work it, the softer it gets. Keep working it and you'll just take off all the color. There we go. So I need a little bit more color on the palette because I totally forgot to do my water. So grab a little bit of this color, beat the paint into the brush. Water is even simpler than sky. Thanks, sir. I'm glad you showed up and hung out with me. Look at this. All I'm doing is touching and pulling in from the outside in. All I use is one side of the brush. Now watch. Other side of the brush, I pull some color in on the other side. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Now it's super, super easy. Just as long as you keep this relatively horizontal, that's going to make it look like level water. We've got this little reflection starting to happen in there. Normally I do the sky and the water at the same time. It doesn't really matter. You can throw a little green into your brush if you want to make it look a little bit more sea-like green or swampy or whatever colors you want. What's my favorite color? I do like a nice royal purple. Now watch this. End to end, side to side. Bring some of that color into the middle but stays lighter. There we go. Well, we don't know how much water we're going to see, so we just do the whole thing and we'll cover up whatever we want. There we go, sky and water. So, while you guys are waiting for me to clean a brush or two, because again, I just did a whole painting here, I got to clean a brush. You guys tell me, what brush do you want me to use to make clouds? The fan brush, the 1-inch brush, or the 2-inch brush? I'm here to show you here. You can do it multiple ways. Fan brush, 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush. And I'll show you different clouds that you can make. We got a, oh look at that. Two votes for fan. 2 votes for 1-inch. 2 votes for 2, and you guys are almost completely even here. Wow, there goes everyone. There's a few thousand people. Now it's just down to the core awesome people. Oh, here comes the votes. 2-inch brush. 2-inch brush it is. 2-inch brush. All right. I gotta do a little palette maintenance here. Cleaning off my palette here. I need to throw in a little bit more titanium white. All right, that should be enough room. And so yeah, I am using the Bob Ross paints here today. They work pretty darn good for this method, you would think. The Bob Ross method, Bob Ross paints. It seems like no brainer, right? All right, watch this. Oh, no, I really don't want to mix the clouds too much, and maybe, we'll see. Watch this. 2-inch brush. I'm going to pull a little bit of this color out so it's not just all chunky. And the way Bob does this sometimes with the brush is he loads the brush just here on the top. Just tap. See that? The paint is only up in the top of the brush. You tap the paint on, and then you tap the paint off. But if you don't have enough paint in there, you kind of run out quick. So let's go ahead and just make some big old clouds. I'm so glad you guys decided to choose this. I haven't done these clouds with a 2-inch brush in a real long time. So I need a blending brush here. You can't blend paint with a dirty brush. There we go. Knock all that thinner off. Now what I'm going to do with that same corner of the brush, the top little corner there, oop, that napkin had some paint on it. I'm just going to make little tiny circles. And we're just going to stir down the bottom of that cloud. See that? Just stir it down. And then we fluff from the bottom up. Fluff, 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 fluff. And then side to side, little crisscross just to finish it. And that makes a version of clouds that looks pretty darn cool. Now, the great thing about this is you can take this as far as you want. We can make layers upon layers here of these tappy clouds. Let's call them tappy clouds. Get that paint on there. You gotta have enough paint to stir down. And then fluff and finish it off. Well, I think we've neglected the left side. Let's just have a nice little floating cloud right here. And let's see, we're just going to blend it down. You guys figured this out already. It's 3 steps. Blend, fluff, and finish. Blend, fluff, and finish. I clean the brushes with odorless mineral spirits. It's an artist grade paint thinner. Let's make this cloud a little bit bigger. Maybe it comes across there. Boy, this is a fun one. This is a cloudy, cloudy sky. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more to this one. All right. Ah, yeah, the 2-inch brush works pretty darn well. So, this really wouldn't be a Bob Ross style painting without a big strong mountain, right? Maybe, I don't know, it's been a while. Let's try this. Let's try something here. I'm going to take a little bit of this is mountain mixture. It's all the dark colors that Bob used to make mountains. And to make it easier, you just put it all into a tube. So you don't have to use 4 or 5 colors to make a shade here. So I'm just going to make something way off here in the distance. Oh gosh, what? What did Ted do now? Just taking this, pulling it down. I always like that when Bob's like, "Oh Bob, you really did it now. Gone off the deep end." Now, let me remind you here, because of that liquid white that's under there, look how easy this is to blend and move color. And just all these little interesting streaks just sort of happen. I'm having such a good time. I'm going to do something even more special here. Take a tiny bit of the white. Maybe we'll see a little hint of some snow on these mountains. And then very gently brush. There we go. Just a little hint. Now I'm going to take my mountain mix and let's go ahead and whoa! Bring this mountain range right on up over it. All I'm doing is putting some dark color on there, and that's just going to be our base color. Pushing it into the fabric of the canvas here. And scraping the majority of it off. And oh, you could do this, DK and NE14. You can do this. Come on now. If you, not to be the shameless promoter here, but if you go to my website, naturesbrushstudio.com, click on the class pictures link, take a look at all those people who have never ever picked up a brush before, typically. About 90% of my students have never painted before. And look what they can do. If I can teach an 8-year-old all the way up through an 84-year-old, I can teach you. You can do it. They did it. You know, you're only limited by your imagination. Pull yourself up by your bravery and give it a shot. Give it a shot. Let's clean the brush again. I'm having a clean brush party today. Alright, now that I scraped that paint off, I come up here with my 2-inch brush and I pull that color with that liquid white. This allows you to blend this color down. We want it nice and dark and distinct at the top and get lighter and lighter as we move down the canvas. And each one of these peaks is going to have a bright side, you know, the highlights, the snow, and the shadow side, the snow that's in the shadow. And then I'm just cleaning my brush here, and look at that. Look how fast you can make a mountain. Just grow this mountain as big or as little as you want it. And anything you don't like, we just cut off and cover it up with the next layer. Knock some of the excess paint off. Your brush gets a little too gooped up, and look at this. We're just blending that liquid white into the base of the mountain. Look at that. I'm not doing anything. There's no real magic here. Just a little bit of practice. Knowing how to do the techniques. And we got ourselves a mountain now. Thanks, NE14. I appreciate that. Just give me another half second here. Got a fan on low here. Any higher than that and it's a little too loud. All right. We've got some work to do. Not sure I'll have enough paint here. Let me get out a little bit more. Thanks, Slurpy David. Oh yeah, we gotta have the dark. Now I can spout Bobisms as the day is long here, all night. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to be Bob. I'm just I always it helps to throw a Bobism in there once in a while. The students like it. But yeah, you do need the dark on there so that the light will show. So that's too much paint. So what I do is I pull this out very, very flat, cut across. There's our little roll of paint. Now this is the tricky part, okay? It is a little tricky to do at first. 2 fingers and a thumb. That's about all I use to hold this knife. This paint is very firm and dry. So what it does with the lightest of touches, you can get this paint to break, create all these little holes just by very lightly grazing the knife on the canvas. See that? Just touch and just let it drift. And it all depends on how big you want your mountain to be. And look at this, we got a third peak here. I'm not sure how big that peak's going to be yet. So we'll just leave it there, and we can always change things up if we don't like it. There we go. Change it up a little. Another way to do this, sometimes you just like to very, very gently just hit it a little bit at a time, like this. Sort of a, I don't know what you'd call that, sort of a little bit of a pet technique. All right, patent pending. Copyright 2020, Nature's Ross Studio. Pet technique. And that certainly works. I like doing the long single bob maneuver. Both work. Try them both. You'll have fun either way. Thanks, Unknown. I appreciate it. Happy trees. We can't put the trees in yet, my friend. We gotta put in all this background. So let's get a little bit of a shadow color. I'll just do that right. Oh, we need a shadow. Oh my gosh. I need to do a little palette maintenance here. There we go. So we need a little bit of blue and titanium white, blue, and maybe a little bit of that mountain color. Or you can use black, whatever color suits you. Ooh, that's kind of nice. But I see how I just leave it all streaky, marbly. That's what gives it its uniqueness. Okay, now this time, got to come up here, sort of match up to the top edge. Touch. Ooh, that's definitely a bit grayer than blue. Now, very gently here, we're working from, I like to work from the left to the right when I'm doing my shadow. And we got to sneak a little bit in here too. And when we got all these little breaks and holes, that's why we don't fill them all in with the highlight. So we can just pick some of them out with the shadow, and that sort of pops that out and makes it look like a crack or a fissure. Kind of gives that little 3D effect. I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a second here. Watch this. But we're back. We're back, and I'm just sitting here painting. Let's try that again. I was too worried about my stream coming. I forgot to do that correctly. So we got a couple people coming back. I don't really know what happened there, my friends. Unfortunately, we got a little server glitch or something, or phones or something going on. So what I'm going to do is just sort of add to this mountain we got started here. Kind of just adding a whole new peak, a whole new range. Someone on the first stream said something about Mount Rainier, and I believe that's got a whole series of peaks and valleys and lots of cool things going on. So I figured I want to just give that a try. Add some stuff here. I've got all the time in the world now. So I'm just putting in some of the shadows that each peak needs. Throwing in some darks and blues in here. Touching and pulling down. Sometimes you need to very gently touch where the shadow and the snow meet. You pull it down, you get a little hook of the snow. Kind of looks like it's falling off into the shadow side. Looks pretty cool. Helps break up that line so it doesn't look too plain. And sometimes over here you can kind of throw in a couple little dark bits using this background color that I initially used here. Get some deep shadows back here. So hopefully some of you guys came back. I was painting for a good hour or so. This is my second painting tonight. I just do complete paintings all at once. without stopping or coming back the next day. And I like to stream on here a couple times a week if I'm feeling it, which I usually am, because what else are we going to do during this pandemic? Just taking my brush, just like how I tap those clouds, I'm going to tap the base of this mountain and then sweep. And we start to create the illusion here of fog and mist at the base of this mountain. And blend that out. Just creating that diffusion there creates the illusion here that the mountain is further away. So I got any people commenting yet? My things are acting so wonky. No comments? Maybe not. Oh well, we got a couple people watching. I gotta finish the painting anyway, so I'll be here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that mountain color, a little bit of the blue, maybe a little bit of this brown I mixed up here. Tapping it all into the brush. Maybe we're going to give the impression here there's some foothills. Maybe something like that. Just by tapping this color, we can create layers upon layers of trees, all following kind of general shape here. If you want them a little darker, just throw a little bit more of your color in there, and we can create layers of these foothills. Something like that. Then, with that same brush, you may not be able to see this so close, but what we're doing is kind of pulling up thousands of little trunks. There we go. Thanks, Consendo. Were you here before? I was streaming here, but I don't know, something went all wonky. So I'm just pulling some of this color down here as a reflection. A little bit longer on the right than the left. But maybe not just straight, okay? Don't just want it straight, because that, you know, you can, but it just looks a little flat, a little two-dimensional. So once we got that on there, clean the brush for like the 95th time tonight. And then let's pull across. Makes that a little bit smoother. There we go. Now we'll take our knife. We pretty much done with that shadow color, so I can scrape that away. And a big blob just fell on the floor. Good thing I went without carpet when we redid the basement. Ooh, another blob. Like that was the blob I thought I had, and then I found another one. Just a second here. There we go. Alright, now, a little bit of the titanium white. Sort of mixing whatever color was already there, just so it's not pure white. Here we go. I want the paint on the edge, so I cut across. And now, right where the land meets the water, I just make these horizontal water lines. Remember, horizontal. We don't want to curve, or else it just won't look right. Any ones that are too bright, you can just saw at them and they disappear. Just mixes back in. Trick is just let it happen. Let it be free. There we go. Now that helps us give the idea that as we're moving down here, things are getting closer. Yeah, see? That worked out okay. All right. Thanks, Consendo, again. Wow. Yeah, you know, I just did a long stream here and it zapped out on me. If you check my profile, you can see a couple dozen, 3 dozen streams. So, I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. Should we go ahead and just put in a couple of big old pine trees? Would that work? That's always fun. We don't need a reason, just because it's fun. And where'd my brush go? Let me look for my brush while I take a sip here. Oh, Nelly. Oh, there it is. So, I'm going to take this mountain mix color, throw a little bit more blue into it, throw in some sap green. We're just going to make a nice dark background color for all our trees and bushes. He's alive! That's right, I don't know what happened there. Sunday night internet issues. We're back. Only the cool people are showing back up again. So, are we having dainty little baby trees, or are we having big, super strong trees? I say let's go big or go home, right? That is a big old tree. Oh boy. Let's go vote here. We gotta have a vote here. Do you want them frowny trees, you know, hangy down limbs? Or do you want smiley trees, upward facing limbs? I'm here in Michigan, and we have like 94 different kinds of evergreens here. All crazy, loopy, long ones, straight ladder looking evergreens, and firs and pines, and all sorts of crazy stuff. So, smiley trees or frowny? Let's see. Happy, frowny, smiley, 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 frowny, frowny, hey, down, down, pot leaves. Well, let's start with happy trees, and you can make those. We don't really have 75-foot cannabis trees, at least not yet. So I'm just touching with the corner of the brush and bending the brush up. Bow, bow. Bending the brush allows these little smiley things to happen automatically. I'm really not drawing anything. I'm just letting the brush do the work. This style of almost, you know, impressionistic painting, it's your eye fills in the shape, you know, it looks like tree limbs. And you start hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and you're making branch after branch after branch. As you're working your way down, you're hitting it a little harder and a little harder And we can make these limbs out as long as we want them. And maybe, I don't know here, maybe you guys help me decide. Should there be a little bit of a island projection type thing, or do you want this tree to come all the way down? Projection, yes or no? If you say no, it means you want this tree to come all the way down. Big mega tree. Sloss can't win. I painted that. It's hiding behind the tree. A little projection. That sounds good. Well, that's easy. I just stop painting and just push this out this way. So we're just doing something simple here. Usually on the second painting of the night, I just like to just get my chops up and try something new with a simpler composition. Oh, we can also make it fun. There we go. Look at that. So I think, just in case here, I need to create the illusion here of some reflection. So if I did smileys up here, I do frownies down here, and that helps keep the illusion going. Something like that. And we can end this wherever we want. I don't know what's going on yet. So, let's take our brush here, touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. If I touched and pulled too much, you just come back here and re-tap it in. There we go. And with the clean dry brush, just sweep horizontal. Very gentle. 2 hairs and some air. And that creates a little reflection. The start of it anyway. Got a little bit of brown here. So with the brown, I'm going to come up here and put a little top there. Maybe, if you can see this, little trunk. And if you can't see it, watch this. Little bit of dark sienna and white. There we go. Dark sienna and white. Let's see if we can't highlight. Touch somewhere on these trunks. All right. Little bit of liquid white, little bit of cadmium yellow, and then some of that sap green. Ooh, I might just do it right up there. Sap green. What a nice green color here. Okay. Before I get too much further here, I'm going to take a little bit of that color. Let's create some little bushes and tree shapes here. Just sort of banging this in creates all these interesting leaves and sticks and twigs. All right. Hey, account. I appreciate you coming in here. Oh, you haven't been here for a while. I've been cleaning brushes left and right. You know what? Believe it or not, we could make this a winter scene immediately, or a green scene, but we've already got the cad yellow on here. But we could have easily highlighted these with snow instead. So very light touch. Pushing. Sometimes your brush gets a little bit slimed up with the dark color, so Bob never does. Never happens for Bob, but it happens for me. There we go. A little bit of a highlighted tree. There we go. Totally didn't give that guy a friend, did we? Oh, for shame. All-seeing upvote. That's so nice. Slap of the brush. Well, I do have a lot of brushes to clean. So yes, paint thinner in a bucket with a screen at the bottom. There you go. And a little bit on the easel for good luck. All right. Dipping my brush here straight down into the liquid white, and let's go ahead and highlight some little bushy shapes in here. If you watched the other stream earlier tonight, you've seen me do this already. Same concept here. Very bright color. Let's do a nice bright one. There we go. Already ran out of the cad yellow. It's alright, I've got several more tubes over there. Several more? Well, a few more. Little bit of the yellow. Let's go right into some green. I tell you what, a little bit of Prussian blue. Prussian blue. Cad yellow. Makes a lovely green. Lots of paint on the brush. That's the secret of these. And just barely touch. Now, got a choice here. I got a little bit of Indian yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre. Let's put a little guy right there. Ooh, I forgot to put some of these in the water. There we go, a little cad yellow one. Maybe we'll see a little bit of reflection there too. Alright, this one's not as fun. But we'll slap of the 1-inch brush. Just as we did before. Gotta have a little firecracker there. Little shiner. Alright. Now we got, you see this gap here? All this extra dark. Let's see what we can do with that. I got this great little green color right here. A little bit of this blue, yellow, maybe a little yellow ochre in there, little Indian yellow. Look at all the cool colors. I'm going to create, hopefully, the illusion here of a little bit of grass just by very gently tapping. And it's a little dark right now. Just trying to create the illusion here of a little bit of sort of lawn type grass, you know, actual some grass between the bushes and the reflection. Just taking my brush and just gently tapping, starts to work its way there, mix with that darker color, starts to create the illusion of the lay of the land. Gotta have the lay of the land. Once we get it out there, get some of that color showing there, now we can come in here with a little bit brighter spot and just sort of dink, 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 highlight just a couple little spots here or there, and we can create the illusion of all these little hills and bumps and stuff if you want to. Add some little fine details like that, as much or as little as you want. Don't overdo it. Couple will work just fine. And of course I say that, I'm going to add one more. Something right there. Ruined. So I think there's not going to be much of an earthy, sandy shore there. What did you guys think? Boy, you guys get awfully specific. Calmer, deeper voice, please. When I'm talking on the phone, I worked the phones there for customer service for the longest time, and I developed the Barry White super calm voice, that's for sure. But when I'm painting like this, you can't help but get excited. When I get excited, my voice raises up a little bit. I suppose just before I put the earth in, I should have pulled some of this reflected down here. There we go. Pull that down. Pull across ever so gently. Whoops. There's our happy accident. There we go. Now I can come back with the old small knife, and any of these whoopsies you just cover up with the earth. That's what we call them, little whoopsies. And you can make that as dark or as bright as you want. You can come back here with a little bit of the white and dark sienna mix. There you go. And then a little bit of titanium white. That's me, snowplowed. Well, maybe you're talking about someone else. I don't know. But my daughter, she's not much into Bob Ross style painting, but she likes taking some of my paintings and painting dragons and stuff in them afterwards. So unless you meant someone else, I'm sure there's more people than just me. I saw one guy on Reddit, or someone posted something from a guy, where there was like an AT-AT Star Wars walker or something like that he painted into like a thrift store painting. So I could put in a little bit of thingies there and there. You done did it. Someone asked me already. It's like the second or third time someone's asked me my favorite color. And I'm still going to stick with purple. Purple. I did a nice purple painting here. Let me show you this one here. Uh-oh. This was another version of a Bob Ross episode, and I changed it up a little bit. Kind of the same thing, that lawn type grass all under the cabin, but lots of purple. That was a fun one. That was so fun, I think I did a couple more versions of it. Because it's just fun. Purple is a great color, especially using in the sky. It's a great one. So, let us see what we got. You wasn't expecting that. Or maybe you were. Oh, you just finally noticed my little ornament hat. Yeah, absolutely. I got all the swag. Well, not all of it, but quite a bit. So I'm just taking a little bit of the brown there. And then I've got this dark sienna white mixture on my knife. And all I'm doing is just touching in a vertical fashion here and there. We've established here our light is coming from the right, so we really want to focus the shadow, I'm sorry, the highlight on the right side here. So I'm just touching, letting it take off the paint that it wants. Yes, the old water trees. I just wanted to shock you guys there. We'll give those trees something to sit in here. Some land to hang out in. Just tapping. Well, every once in a while I just clean my brush, clean the knife, and reload with fresh color. Just little tiny rolls of paint, just like that. All right. Now we get to something I need some practice on, so really glad I did a second painting here. And that is just practicing my branches. Just like that. That's right there, Technic. Reload, reload. I am user u/TEDSIM. We can click on the stream. 45 minutes left. Come on, guys. No more awards that give me more time. You're killing me. I can't stay on here all night. I got work. So I'm thinning down some of this oil paint, thinning it down with the paint thinner, rolling my brush through to get the nice sharp point. Just going to create some branches. And the cool thing about this, if we're going to put leaves on here, we don't really care so much about how these branches look because we can just cover them up. If there's something you don't like, fine. Let it go. Pulling some of these little guys off here, one side or the other. And we can add all this detail as much as we want. Come on! More time. Oh, you guys are killing me, man. I don't have time to do a third painting. All the time in the world to talk with you though, so I'll just paint slower, paint slower. No, it's not Bob Ross, but it's Bob Ross style, my friends. I'm a certified Bob Ross instructor. Formerly of the Distant Socializing subreddit, now here on TheArtistStudio to entertain and amaze and... it sounded like a carnival barker there. Sorry about that. No, I'm just a guy who likes to paint in the Bob Ross style. Whoa, that one got a little out there. I don't have a lot of practice doing the redwood style trees, so I figured maybe I'll just take my time here and practice them. How about that? Why is the shadow facing us if the sun isn't in the picture? Well, the sun is over here somewhere, and the sunlight, you know, not everything is in the direct sun, you know, so we got to have a highlight side and a shadow side. That's why we put the snow on the right, the bright snow, and then the shadow on the left of the peaks. Similarly, we've got these redwood trees here, and they're going to be catching the sunlight more on the right side of the trunk than the left, so we put the highlight on the right. Does that make sense? Don't want to ever give you the letdown. So if you want to know anything about this style of painting, you definitely throw those questions out there or DM me, and I'll answer them for you. Oh, it's not. I appreciate the compliments, you guys. It's my pleasure to be here. Just no more time. You're killing me. We're back up again. I had to start my stream again. We're back down to just 2 or 3 people for a bit. And then something happened, and you guys came through for me. Makes me feel good to paint for an audience. It's a reflection, not a shadow, lol. Oh, you mean this? Oh, you're right. You're totally right. I forgot to put in highlights on my reflection. That's easy enough. Look at that. I'm doing that with a palette and a brush in the other hand. There we go. Forgot to highlight my tree. Someone give that guy an award, or gal. Ooh, that looked actually pretty nice. Alright, enough floaty stuff here. No more floaty trees. Just cleaning my brush. No magic here. And I can bring this tree, well, we won't bring him down quite yet. Even sort of bash this in, create some little grassy things going up there. All right. Now it's almost looking like a painting. Dead branch tree reflection. Ah man, I'm trying to follow through with what requests I can here. You're gonna have to give me a little bit more time here. There. I have to strengthen that one a little bit. Whoa, hello. So what is the consensus here? Do we need leaves? No more time. My God. Don't leave me hanging here. I'm not Bob Ross ripoff. No, Bob Ross, certified instructor, teaching you Bob Ross methods for free, for fun, for the love of Bob. That's what we're here for, the love of Bob. I don't think those highlights were working for me. I think they needed to be a little bit stronger. There we go. Now to help with the illusion of shadow, what we're going to do, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the brown, mix it kind of in there, and I'm going to throw in just a very light touch of the Prussian blue. Run as Bob Ross? No, I would never paint myself as Bob Ross. I studied down at the Bob Ross Gallery. Sorry, you're gonna have to see my arm here for a minute. And I want to touch in a little bit of this shadow over on the side here. here and there a little bit of reflected sunlight. All right. Well, the painting started with liquid white. No, I never met Bob, unfortunately. He passed away in 1995. I was across country at that point in time, and I used to watch Bob growing up. Like a lot of people in my generation there, Sunday mornings on PBS, half an hour. It's kind of amazed, and it really started my love of art from a young age, like a lot of people. But I studied art in college, and I studied all sorts of painting, watercolor and acrylic and so forth, but never oil painting, though it was always in the back of my mind. Here we go. So, trying to think here. Let us try this. So, one Father's Day, about 5 years ago, my wife listened to my wants and got me a Bob Ross master kit, and I started practicing and just putting a few little clumps, putting these branches in sporadically. And then I went down to the Bob Ross Studio and gallery in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and took the landscape course and became what's known as a certified landscape instructor. You can also get certified in wildlife and florals. I was never much, I tried florals once and just really wasn't my thing. So I got certified to teach this method, and that's what I do. I go around all over the state and all over the country, occasionally around the country, and I teach this method. I give demonstrations. I've had some great times, and I know a few of the people at the company. Oh, I don't want to go up any higher than that. Oh, that looks actually pretty decent. I'm kind of happy with that. And I've had the opportunity to meet a whole bunch of cool people all across the country and teach them, and keep that dream alive, as we like to say. Keep Bob Ross's legacy going there by showing that anyone can do this. If you've never had any experience before, you can do this. If you can't draw a straight line, well, that's the best thing, is creating all these branches. You don't want straight lines in nature. You want all curved and interesting shapes. So you can do this. I refuse to accept that you can't do this. Oh, you pay my fare, I'll come to Maryland. I have been to Maryland. I went to, that was my first trip out of state. I was in Baltimore for a night or 2 nights? 2 nights, I think. And I taught a couple quick classes, 90-minute classes. Those were, you gotta, no stop for talking, Dr. Jones, in a 90-minute class. No more gold, come on. Come on. All right, I gotta finish up this painting here. Let's see what we're gonna do. I think we need, I'm gonna make life easy on Ted here, and we're gonna make smashy grass in the front. I'm just gonna do it with the old fan brush. Look at this. Watch this. I'm gonna load up, let's see, a little bit of bright color. Watch this, the bright color first. And then a little bit of this dark yellow ochre. So, just like how I created this tree, just how I created that one. Ooh, I gotta highlight that still, remind me. Just push. And you bend the brush, bend the bristle. And you can't do that. Sometimes when I see my students, they just go, eh, and they like count to 5 and then let it go. Nothing happens. You actually got to get tough and rough with it. You just bang it in there. And that brush bending is what creates the effect. And it looks a little weird when you're right up next to it. I know, I just mashed that, and it looks a little weird. But when you step back, it starts to, your eye sort of just mixes it all together, and it starts to look right. So, but you know, if you don't like it, scrape it off. I've scraped a few canvases in my day. Come back here, just sort of bang in a different color. Now, I need to take my knife here. Bring that tree in. This is oil paint. Everything sticks. Everything sticks. You can keep coming back. Here we go. Yes, very comic. Yeah, I'll tell you, I get silly and dumb there near the end of the night. All right. I tell you what, I say it all the time, if all else fails, oh, throw a little tree or a bush there at the bottom. And I'll come back to my fan brush and sort of bang in a little bit of highlight under the foot there. And there we go. Let us see here. A little bit of the brown and the paint thinner. Crab Rave, that's a new one. I haven't seen the badges here on TheArtistStudio. Gotta have a little deader tree in here. And sometimes we got some sticks and things that come off these trees too. You can put these in before the highlights also, or you can just bring them in, put them in whenever. And we can have a little stick growing out here, and maybe there's a little straight guy right there. Losing my depth perception. I can't even see if I'm getting any paint out there. There it is. There it is. And someone said something about birds. So a little bit of the dark brown, a little bit of that mountain color, and a lot of paint thinner to a chiseled edge. Can you add a WW2 tank on top of the mountains? Good gravy. Where have you been? We just did that last week. Tanks everywhere, man. Couple little birdies. And if you have 2 birds, you might as well make it 3, right? Little baby bird right there. Birds for scale. One of my favorite subreddits. Birds for scale. Oh, we gotta do a little bit of highlight on those branches there. Liquid white, cad yellow. Thanks a lot. Trick is getting it just slightly above the dark, if at all possible. As I come down the tree a little bit, maybe a little bit more of it's hiding in the shadow, may not be as bright. But we still should see plenty of brights and darks, and then I just sort of give up and just start mashing at random. I lost my patience. There we go. And there we go. We got some nice bright sunshiny day. Did I just quote a song? Bright, bright, sunshiny day. And a lot of sunlight glinting off there. And it makes a very summer-like painting. I kind of like it. A couple of dead trees. Of course, what would a Bob painting be without some scratches? Watch this. Just really changes everything up here. And just scrape right through the paint. And create little sticks and twigs. It's almost like a penguin. That's what I think of when I do it. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk, walk. There we go. And with that, we've got painting number 2. It's a banner evening here, Sunday night, nothing else to do. What time is it? 9:45. Oh my God. I gotta clean up and go to bed. I've been painting for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Little T, little S. Little 2 and a 0. Oh, I am okay, Wilco, but I really appreciate the sentiment. I am my own worst critic, that's for sure. I mean, sure, we got a couple of minor trolls that mention here that I'm an imposter. I don't think I'm an imposter, but I don't think I'm that great. What piece is this? Well, this is just a Bob style landscape, you know? I can do this style painting in as little as 30 minutes or less with this with a smaller canvas. And it's just all about variation, you know? Because you guys were here, I didn't need to do the clouds. I didn't need to do the first little mountain here that you see back here. I didn't need to do as complicated of a mountain. I only had to put in maybe 1 foothill, but I put in 3. You know, I put in 1 tree, but I could have just finished off the entire painting with happy trees, and then I put in bushes, and then I decided, let's try some redwoods. All these things are all interchangeable and adaptable, and you can do them with different brushes and get different effects. Almost everything that you see up here can be done 5 different ways. And of course, your own technique and your own method, your own brush stroke puts a spin on each one of those. It's kind of like a guitar. You got 6 strings and 24 frets. endless combinations. Same thing with this painting. I'm here, and we are here as certified instructors to just teach you the technique, show you what one brush can do for one aspect of a painting. How you decide to take it from there is up to you. Oh, and let me throw in the different colors. You can do this scene springtime, fall, winter. What's the other one? Summer? So you can say, hey, I want to do a sky, but it's going to be a sunset with just red and yellow. No purple this time. Using the 2-inch brush, using the 1-inch brush. No mountain, and you get the idea. And look at me, I'm like Italian. And I know, well, $100 or so, Sambino. You can get a kit, one of the basic kits or a master kit, but a basic kit I think runs you $30, $40. You get a cheap easel off of Bob Ross or Jerry's or Dick Blick or Hobby Lobby, any place that sells art supplies. Get a cheap easel. Pick up a couple of basic canvases from local Hobby Lobby or wherever, So I want to say under $100, maybe right around there. And you can take it as far as you want, You can definitely go more complicated if you want. So there we go. Bae, I'm tired. My throat's sore. How are you? I'm still live. Just finished painting number 2.
Wow, you've been painting for a long time. Do you need me to
I
get
know.
you anything?
What's that?
Do you need me to get you anything?
No, I'm good. No,
like another soda?
We've lost almost all our viewers. Only the cool people left. The 4-inch brush, that would be something. Germicide, thank you so much for showing up. And how do you do it? I'm not sure what you mean, Wilco, but feel free to DM me or something. In my reflection, it looks too crisp. Maybe needs to be blurred more. Well, you know what? Your wish is my command. Well, my signature is there now, but we can blur it a little bit here. Oh, now I just put some happy streaks in the water there. Let's see here, with a clean dry brush, all I need to do is put some more reflections in there. Oh, we got all sorts of crazy stuff happening in there now. Look what you made me do. We've got all sorts of colors going in there now. Well, there we go. So, that is what we're doing. And, feel free to tune in, and if you hit exclamation mark, sign me up. It should alert you the next time I go live, probably in a couple of days or so. So it's been about a week since I painted on here, but I usually paint a couple times a week. Feel free to check out all my stuff. I might make a YouTube video out of the 2 paintings that I did tonight, 2 different YouTube videos. So you can check that out. Nature's Brush Studio is most of my website, my Facebook, my YouTube. And that's about it. I will thank you all for the extra time and your attention tonight. I hope you guys learned something at least. I hope you had a good time. And catch me next time. I'll see you later, guys. I had my stream just cut out and I had to create a second one. First one was like 130,000. This one was 114,000.
How many people had you at the end here?
Just at the, well, that was the thing, is I went...
There's always like a rise and then a slow decline.
It went from a couple of hundred to